So, welcome to my 100 subscriber special. I'm SSJ Raikou, your host, and I made a promise when it came to this 100 subscriber video essay. You see, throughout my YouTube career, I've only been using this voice, but this isn't my real voice actually. This is what I like to call my YouTuber voice, where I act as if I'm an animated character. I have a very high voice, it's very energetic, but truth be told, it's not like that in real life. Truth be told, I kind of sound like a bass guitar, and Moist Critical had a baby. So, allow me to reveal my voice. I'm gonna do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, yeah, this is my real voice. My God, it feels so weird talking like this on YouTube. Ooh. Yeah, when you're like oh God, this transition really makes my throat feel weird. But anyway, so as you guys all know from what I said earlier, this is my real voice. And I wonder if I sound like if I actually sound like a bass guitar to y'all. This isn't scripted, by the way. This is actually genuinely me improvising here because I literally have no clue what to say. But yeah, I want to thank you all for 100 subscribers, man. I didn't think I would make it to 100. I always figured that I would always stay with a very small audience of 20, 30 subscribers. But the fact that y'all guys managed to get me to 100 is truly incredible. And I want to thank you all for that. It makes me feel incredible. And I really hope that this becomes my career in the future, because I really don't want to end up like working at a job that I'm gonna hate. That's actually my biggest fear when it comes to growing up, is that I really don't want to end up working at a job that I do not like. So seeing myself reach 100 subscribers after all these years gives me a little hope. I really hope that I do end up getting enough subscribers to at least give me something to do during adulthood. So, yeah. Without further ado, let's continue on with the 100 subscriber special. I gotta do it in a sing-song tone because the person who commented it like this. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Well, I mean, I heard they'd do anything for a Klondike, But honestly, I'd do anything for a blonde. What is my favorite video I've ever made? Well, that'd be any voice acting video. But my favorite video I made was the Nets cutscene video. Because while I have made videos with a sound design created by me, those will never compare to the fact I literally have hundreds of sound effects on my computer thanks to that video. Another reason why it's my favorite is because I put little references in it, like the Metro Goldwyn lion roar and the Super Mario 64 cannon sound effects. I know I make a lot of video essays, but the thing about video essays is the editing gets repetitive, which makes it hard for someone like me who has severe ADHD to edit without getting super bored the next few days. Hence why you probably... my bad. Hence why you guys probably noticed why I shifted away from video essay content. I love writing video essay scripts, but my god, is it so unbelievably boring to edit them. It drives me insane because sometimes I have to listen to the same sound bite hundreds of times just to make sure it's in the perfect place, since I'm a perfectionist and the slightest mistake bugs the heck out of me. So yeah, I love making voice acting videos. What is my dream content to make long term? The same 4 types of content I've been making, which is gaming, voice acting, OC content, and video essays. My content is meant to appeal to people like me while also trying to show me getting into new stuff. Like, as an audience member of other YouTubers, I hate it when a non-political content creator brings bits and pieces of politics into their content. There's a reason why political commentators exist. I just don't understand. So if you ever ask me, I have prohibited any talk of political, sexual, and religious beliefs because I believe it is my job as an entertainer you to help you escape from reality, not bring you back into it. The closest thing to a real-life belief you'll ever find is that I'm a Catholic, but you're never, ever going to find out what I believe as a Catholic, like whether or not I'm a Democrat or a conservative. All you need to know is that I'm Catholic, Puerto Rican American, and just want to have fun and avoid the draining, grueling subject of politics and religion. Let me clarify that I do not hate politics and religion. I just find it tiring that everyone talks about it non-stop. Like, seriously, it's one of the biggest subjects of the world, and it gets on my nerves because it causes constant arguing and everything. I've argued with a few people plenty, and it's just tiring, which is why I don't do political content or religious content, and probably never will, because that's my personal stuff, and I don't think that it would be okay for me to make content off of that. So yeah. Do you have any, mainly gaming-focused videos planned for the future? And if you do, would you be willing to play something such as Minecraft or Gmod together? So, I'm gonna introduce everyone to this man. This is a friend of mine I know personally, and I know him in real life. And fortunately for him in the audience, but unfortunately for me, I have to expose my plans for the future. I'm kidding, by the way. I really don't mind sharing my plans. So none of a majority of my videos are going to be gaming focused. As I said earlier, that I'm going to continue doing a mixture of different content. Because he asked if I will be playing with him, that forces me to leak the fact I will be collabing with him in the future via Gmod. I don't know about Minecraft, but I suppose we could do a collab on Minecraft. But if we do, I want to include Black Fox Studios since she loves Minecraft as well. I don't think I'm gonna collab on Minecraft because Minecraft isn't my kind of game. Like, everyone knows my favorite games are fighting games, even though I suck at them. What I will say is that for those who don't know, in the future, I plan on collaborating with a few fellow YouTubing friends, and we are going to make a Uno video together. So we're going to play Uno online, and we're going to scream at each other, and it'll be the funniest thing. So, yeah, that's essentially how it's going to be, and I look forward to doing these collabs and such in the future, because I've never made that kind of content before, but I am so excited to do it because it'll be like my first time ever doing commentary on a video game in forever. Because last time I did commentary on a video game, I don't remember when it was, but it was super long ago. So, yeah, that's essentially what's the plan, and I look forward to it. I will probably invite you to the Uno play if you want to join Robert Studios. So, yeah. Do you think you'll ever hit it big, SSJ Raikou? I don't necessarily think I'm going to hit it big, nor do I plan on thinking about it. Instead of asking myself, am I going to hit it big, I always say, I hope I hit it big. Why? Because YouTube is like playing the lottery, and if you win by going viral and being monetizable, then congratulations. Thinking I'm going to hit it big is a bad idea because, to me, it promises false hope and will add to the pain of the scenario of if I don't hit it big. And I'm also doing this for fun for the sake of the fact that I love writing, and so writing these scripts, like these video essay scripts on my opinions on different fictional subjects, will always be super fun. And what I will say is that I'll probably be doing YouTube forever, but if I don't hit it big and I become an adult with an actual job, I'll probably drop the every Saturday upload where I will just talk about really anything, because if I'm keeping it honest, I don't think I would be able to have enough spare time to do YouTube while also keeping myself happy. So I'd probably cut down my uploading schedule a bit. Not by much, just enough to keep me under control. So yeah, that's essentially how I see it. And I also want to add that proudly claiming that I'm gonna hit it big just feels like overconfidence to me, because it's a lottery. And if you win the lottery, congratulations. There's a very slim chance of me going to hit it big. But if I do hit it big, I think it'll be a beautiful life, because I genuinely enjoy doing YouTube. So if that ever becomes my job, I will absolutely love it, because YouTube is amazing. And while they have their moments, I think making YouTube videos makes up for those moments of the YouTube developer team making very bad decisions. So, yeah. What is your preference in manga or TV/movie adaptations of manga? Okay, wow, that's a really hard one, because there's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, A Silent Voice, Dragon Ball, it's Akira. I mean, the amount of times I've said Akira is my number one favorite piece of fiction ever will always and forever be true. The Akira manga and movie are the greatest pieces of fiction to me, with the Akira manga being the greatest piece of literature, media, and entertainment I have ever consumed. The Akira manga is literally the only piece of material I have ever consumed to get a 12 out of 10. I am not exaggerating when I say I believe the Akira manga is the highest peak of fiction, and everyone, including you, Black Fox Studios, should read the manga and watch the movie. I hope to God that one day Akira gets a revival in popularity and we get to see a huge influx in Akira YouTube videos. I shouldn't have to be freaking making Akira YouTube videos non-stop, because, that's just the way it is. I will always and forever preach my truth, but sometimes I just want other people to preach it as well. So, yeah, that's essentially how I see it. What has inspired me to create a YouTube channel? YouTubers, ironically enough. Like, I didn't know YouTubing was a thing until I was introduced to gamers via Disney's Polaris era. You know how mind-blowing it is to discover you can get paid money just to play whatever games you wanted at age 8? The Polaris era of Disney XD is not talked about enough because that stuff was genuinely influential to me. Things like Polaris Player Select, which introduced me to amazing YouTubers like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, you name it. And Parker Plays, love that show, by the way. That one of my favorite shows growing up. I always looked forward to a new episode. I loved it when he played Tattletale because that was so funny. And then there was also the IGN News. So yeah, that's fun. And it broke my heart when Disney ended the Polaris era and went back to their usual bullcrap. Because if I'm being honest, I think like childhood entertainment peaked after that. Because I don't think you'll ever see anything like that again. And the fact that it only lasted for 3 years drives me insane. Like, and I'm not dissing on people who like the Owl House, but imagine it focusing on mediocre like shows like the Owl House instead of actually providing good content like the Polaris era. Because look, I don't hate the Owl House. I just found it to be mediocre and kind of sucky. Like, that's just my opinion. I don't hate the Owl House. It's just not my thing. So, yeah, I mean, the Polaris era has to be the greatest era of Disney entertainment. You had Parker Plays, Polaris Player Select, IGN Game News before IGN went down the hill. It's incredible. Like, oh my god. I would do anything to bring the Polaris era back because, man, thinking about it right now is already making me nostalgic. So, yeah. What would you do if you dangerously skipped the Geneva Conventions? First of all, how am I even supposed to answer that? What does that even mean? I don't know how you skip the Geneva Conventions, given they are quite literally rules made for war to keep us from making the human race go extinct. Because seriously, you would not believe the atrocities you can find in things like World War I, World War II, and all these other wars. But I suppose I would just forfeit the war since they're probably going to execute me by firing squad anyway if I violated the Geneva Conventions. And I doubt this is a direct reference to that meme, but I always see but this reminded me of a meme I always see where it says Geneva Conventions, more like Geneva Suggestions. So, yeah. What's your favorite classic video game? It depends on your definition of classic. So if you think the 80s is classic, I'm going to tell you Pac-Man. If you think the 90s is classic, which is not to me because I believe you have to be 40 years old in order to be considered a classic. Or at least, no way. I changed my mind. I'm going to say 30 years old. So 90s is kind of a classic to me, but not all things are considered classic yet. So if you think 90s is classic, I'm going to tell you Sonic the Hedgehog. If you think 2000s is classic, which is not, because again, I believe it 30 years, has to be 30 years old in order to be considered classic, I will tell you it is KOF 2001 because that game is genuinely fun and has the greatest video game character of all time in it, K49. So, yeah. Do I have a favorite game I like to play? Well, so there's two ways to answer this question. We can either go all time or recently. So for recent games, I absolutely love playing both KOF 2001 and KOF 2002 Unlimited Match. I cannot wait for when I get the original KOF 2002, because that might genuinely be my dream game, given I love the characters in KOF 2001 and love the way of battle in KOF 2002 Unlimited Match. Like, I hate Striker so much in KOF 2001, but I also can't stand some of the stuff in KOF 2002 Unlimited Match either. Which is why I think the OG KOF 2002 will absolutely rock. I mean, for heaven's sake, you got K49 nuking people in the game. How am I not supposed to be excited for that? Because K49 is the GOAT. So, yeah, that's essentially how it is. My favorite game of all time has to be Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I could not love a game more than that. It's essentially like the Smash Brothers of Dragon Ball. Well, it was the Smash Brothers of Dragon Ball, but then Sparking Zero came out. And honestly, I'm not surprised. But I really hope they add Android 21 to Sparking Zero. I'd love to see how she plays. I know they added Shallot, so I assume that they are going to add Android 21. Because, I mean, come on. You added Shallot to the game. Why wouldn't you add Android 21? Why are snails your favorite creature? Same reason why mutation-based body horror and psychological horror is my favorite type of horror. My favorite villain of all time is a flamboyant vampire who can stop time. My favorite video game character of all time is a guy who can turn his arms into giant masses of mutated flesh. And a frogman is my favorite X-Men character ever. I'm weird. Like, I don't have a specific reason as to why snails are my favorite. And probably never will, which is funny to me because I can name about 50 or so reasons as to why Dio and K49 and Toad are my favorite characters of their respective series. But I can't name one reason why snails are my favorite, though. I will tell you a fun fact, though. So despite knowing that snails are hermaphrodites, meaning that they are both male and female, I always imagined snails as women. I don't know how this came to be, but ever since I was 5, every time I think of a snail's sex, I always think of a woman. I seriously have no idea where this came from or why it exists, but it's just like what happens in my brain. Like, it's not even rooted in Snail Girls because I didn't come up with the idea of Snail Girls until middle school for a short novel I wrote for fun. Seriously, I have no clue where this came from, and it's been a thing since I was 5 years old. Like, seriously. I don't understand why. It was just a thing. Like, it's weird, I know, but I don't know, my brain just functions like that. What is your opinion on Cookie Run Kingdom? If you have heard of CRK, what is your favorite cookie in the game? And do you think you'll ever play it? Yes, Black Fox Studios, I have heard of Cookie Run Kingdom. Like, you haven't geeked out about it to me 90 different times in the span of our friendship. As for my favorite, it's that one cookie with the angel tail. No, wait. The one with the angel wings and the devil's tail. I'll probably never play it, mainly for the reason that mobile games like that and Candy Crush are not my type of mobile game.
Wait, what? I'm a mascot for an esports team? Raikou, why haven't you told me about this?
I forgot, my bad.
So, what kind of esports am I the mascot of, since you seem to know?
Mario Kart Esports.
A Mario Kart esports? I'm the mascot of an Mario Kart esports league, despite being a snail girl, which is infamous for being very, very, very slow.
Yup.
Good, I guess. I mean, I am only wearing my sweater vest and button up. It's not like I'm wearing anything glamorous. You and Raikou are so weird.